Now let's talk about the returned items task list. If an in-process item is returned to the vendor role for updates, it will go to the returned items task list. If your profile is set up properly, you should receive an email alert when items have been returned to work. If you are not currently receiving the email alert and would like to, contact IMA help at searshc.com. To get to the returned items task list, hover over Data Catalog and click Returned Items. You'll see this page display here. So then you would want to select your pay DUNS number and your SHC division, and then click Get Task List. So from here, you will see any items that have been returned to you from the merchant role. So to see exactly why they returned it to you, you can click the Show Details hyperlink over on the very far right side. It'll pop up with a new window, and then you can actually see comments that they entered before they returned it. And it does require them to enter comments before returning items. If they did not enter comments that are understandable, or you're not sure what they're asking, just be sure to reach out to your merchant directly. So if you agree with the change they're wanting you to make, go ahead and select the items that you want to approve over on the far left side of your screen here. And then you can click Create Grid. So it's going to create a grid, and you may remember when we did the new item grid that you didn't have to name it. But there are other types of grids, including this returned items grid, and every other grid except for the new items grid has to be named before you can start doing anything in the grid. So that's the first thing you have to do. So be sure and enter a grid name and then click Save. So you would make the requested updates and then click Approve. So in the example we had in the comments, they wanted you to change the cost. So you would need to locate that cost field. And you could do that by either selecting the All button right here to bring all fields to view. Or if you know which tab that field is located on, you could just click the tab over here, and that'll narrow down the fields that you're having to look at. So we know that the cost is on the Vendor Packs tab. So in this specific example, I clicked the Vendor Packs tab, and then I scrolled over until I found Member Cost. So again, make whatever changes were requested, and then click Approve. Now, when the grid is approved, it's going to go to your grid history page, just like when we approved a new item grid. So it'll go through that process where it's queued and then busy, and then if there are no issues, you will see the completed status right here. If there are any errors, then you would just need to click the grid button. Will be available here for you to click if there are errors, and you would go back into your grid and review the errors and make any changes that were required.